Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be diving deep into the world of entrepreneurship.
Okay, sounds fun.
We've got some great research here all about what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur.
Ooh.
Whether you're actually thinking about launching your own business or just want to understand how those entrepreneurial minds tick.
Mm-hmm.
So, first things first,
Yeah.
what exactly is entrepreneurship?
Well, I mean, it's more than just opening up a shop and hoping for the best.
Right,
Right.
definitely. There's got to be more to it than that.
Yeah, the material we have here
Yeah.
actually uses a definition from the VCE Business Management Study Design.
Okay.
And it says entrepreneurship is basically all about creating and running a new business,
Uh-huh.
taking on the risk with a goal of turning a profit.
Okay, so risk and reward are definitely key ingredients in the mix here.
Yeah.
But what about the ideation process?
Mhm.
How do entrepreneurs even find the right ideas to pursue in the first place?
Well, it's interesting. They're not just coming up with ideas out of thin air. It's about recognizing those golden opportunities.
Okay.
Like gaps in the market or shifts in what customers are looking for, new technologies emerging, or even just changes happening globally.
So they're kind of like trend spotters in a way.
Yeah, exactly. And then they have that knack for turning those trends into actual tangible business ideas.
So it's not just about having that aha moment in the shower.
Yeah.
It's about really understanding how the world is changing
Exactly.
and finding a way to fit into that new landscape, I guess.
Exactly. And they actually use, there are tools and frameworks that they use to help them make sense of all this change.
Oh, interesting.
Like a SWOT analysis,
Okay.
where they're looking at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Right.
Or Porter's 5 Forces, which helps them understand the competitive landscape of an industry.
So they're not just shooting in the dark.
No, they're not just guessing.
They're doing their homework.
They're analyzing, yeah.
Okay, so they've got the tools.
Yes.
They're identifying these opportunities. But then what? How do they actually bring those ideas to life?
Well, I mean, having an idea is just the first step.
Right.
You have to be able to make that idea a reality, and that's where innovation comes in.
Innovation, that's the entrepreneur's secret weapon, right?
Yeah, it's all about changing things up,
Yeah.
doing things differently,
Right, being disruptive.
and it's more than just being different for the sake of it.
Yeah.
It's about creating value,
Uh-huh.
Are they developing a brand new product? Or are they streamlining a process to make it more efficient?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they're completely disrupting an existing business model.
Okay.
Think about like Blockbuster and Netflix. That's like a classic example
Yeah, that's a good one.
of business model innovation.
So we've got opportunity recognition.
Yeah.
We've got innovation.
Uh-huh.
What's the third piece of this entrepreneurial puzzle?
Well,
I feel like there's got to be a theme here.
you're getting it. The third piece, and it's a big one, is growth.
Growth, okay.
Entrepreneurs aren't content with staying small. They're always looking to expand, reach new customers, and ultimately boost those profits.
That makes sense. Profit is usually the driving force behind taking those initial risks, but constantly striving for growth. I mean, doesn't that get exhausting after a while?
It can.
And could it even be a bad thing in some cases?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
While I think a healthy ambition for growth is essential for survival in the business world,
Yeah.
you're right. It can have its downsides.
Yeah.
If it's not managed well,
Mm-hmm.
it can lead to burnout, hasty decisions,
Oh, yeah.
maybe even some ethical challenges.
Right.
It's all about finding that sweet spot
Yeah, that balance.
between pursuing growth and staying true to those core values.
So it's like that saying, grow or die.
Right.
But it's more nuanced than that.
It's more like grow smartly or die.
I like that. Grow smartly or die. That's good.
And that kind of brings us to some real-world examples.
Okay, yeah.
Let's take a look at some famous entrepreneurs
Case studies. Love those. Let's do it.
who really embody these principles, both the good and maybe the not so good.
All right, let's start with someone who's known for both massive growth and maybe pushing the boundaries a bit.
Okay.
Elon Musk.
Oh, perfect example.
I mean, he's got his hands in everything
Yeah.
from electric cars with Tesla to space exploration with SpaceX.
He's not just aiming for the stars.
I know, he's trying to colonize Mars.
Exactly. And then you've got the Boring Company, focused on digging tunnels for faster transportation,
Yeah.
and Neuralink, developing brain-computer interfaces. I mean,
It's why
he's constantly pushing the limits of what's possible,
he is.
but his ventures haven't been without controversy.
For sure, that attempt to buy Twitter,
Oh, yeah.
what a whirlwind.
It was crazy.
Even though he backed out in the end, it definitely shook things up.
It did, and Musk's approach is very much High risk, high reward.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to disrupt industries, even if it ruffles some feathers along the way.
He doesn't care.
Love him or hate him, you can't deny his impact.
Okay, speaking of shaking things up,
Yeah.
our next case study is another tech giant who's had his fair share of controversy too.
Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg and the empire he's built with Facebook.
Wow. Facebook.
It's hard to imagine life without it now.
I know, right?
It's how we connect with friends, share news, even build businesses these days.
It's true.
Zuckerberg really tapped into something huge, didn't he?
He did, absolutely.
I mean, he created this while he was still in college.
I know.
That takes some serious entrepreneurial guts.
He had the vision, the technical skills, and he wasn't afraid to take those risks.
Right, but Facebook's massive growth hasn't come without its challenges either.
Yeah, that's true.
The research we have here actually highlights some of the downsides of Facebook's dominance.
Okay.
Like screen addiction, the spread of misinformation, concerns about data privacy.
Yeah, those are some serious issues.
Those are some pretty heavy topics.
Yeah, they really raise some important ethical and societal questions.
Yeah.
About the impact of social media on our lives, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you balance free speech with the need to prevent harmful content?
Yeah.
How do you protect user data while still providing those personalized experiences?
That's a tough one.
These are complex problems that Zuckerberg and his team are constantly grappling with.
It's interesting that you mentioned personalized experiences.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be at the heart of Zuckerberg's vision for the future with the metaverse.
Exactly.
This idea of a completely immersive digital world.
Yeah. Facebook, or Meta, as it's now called, is investing heavily in this concept of an embodied internet. It's a bold bet.
It is.
On the future of social interaction.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine, like, virtual workspaces, attending concerts with friends across the globe.
Wow.
Or even just trying on clothes in a virtual store, all from the comfort of your own home.
It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about these tech giants, but entrepreneurship isn't just a Silicon Valley thing.
Right.
Our last case study takes us to Australia
Okay.
with Gina Rinehart,
Interesting.
a mining magnate who built her empire in a very different way.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So Rinehart's story is fascinating because it really challenges that stereotype
Okay.
of the tech-savvy entrepreneur.
Right.
She inherited her father's company,
Mm-hmm.
Hancock Prospecting Group,
Okay.
but it wasn't all smooth sailing from there.
Oh.
The company was facing major financial and legal hurdles when she took over.
So she didn't just inherit a fortune?
No, she had to work for it.
She did.
And she did it by taking, calculated risks.
Uh-huh.
She focused on developing the Roy Hill mine,
Okay.
a massive iron ore project in Western Australia,
Wow.
which has become one of the most successful mines in the country.
That's amazing.
Developing a mine is a huge undertaking. It's not for the faint of heart.
I can imagine.
I mean, we're talking years of planning, billions of dollars in investment.
Yeah.
You're dealing with complex environmental and political issues.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world from, launching a social media platform.
It is. It's a whole different ballgame.
And you're right. Rinehart's approach is all about strategic decision-making, meticulous planning,
Mm-hmm.
managing risk in a high-stakes industry.
Yeah.
And she's also diversified beyond just iron ore.
Oh, yeah.
She's expanded into agriculture
Ah,
and is investing in future-facing metals like lithium,
smart.
which, of course, is essential for electric vehicle batteries.
Right. She's really anticipating those future needs.
Exactly, and positioning her company to capitalize on them.
Very strategic.
So we've gone from tech to mining. Two very different industries,
Very different.
but both showcasing those core principles of entrepreneurship,
Exactly.
spotting the opportunities,
Mhm.
embracing innovation,
Yes.
and constantly striving for growth.
And each of these entrepreneurs, despite their different approaches, their different industries, they all demonstrate the importance of vision, resilience, and a willingness to take risks.
Yeah, they've all had to overcome challenges, navigate uncertainty,
Right?
and constantly adapt to stay ahead of the game.
It's true.
It's incredible to see the range of what's possible
Yeah.
in the world of entrepreneurship.
It's really inspiring.
From disrupting how we communicate to unearthing valuable resources, it's clear that entrepreneurs play a vital role in shaping our world.
They really do. And I think their stories can inspire all of us
Yeah.
to think differently, to challenge the status quo,
Mm-hmm.
and to consider what we might be capable of achieving.
Absolutely. So what does this all mean for our listener?
Okay, good question.
What are some of the key takeaways from our deep dive into entrepreneurship?
Well, let's see. I think after hearing about all these entrepreneurial giants, I'm feeling pretty inspired.
Me too.
But I think what really strikes me
Yeah.
is that it's not just about these big names. Right. You know, the Elon Musks and the Gina Rineharts. We talked earlier about, young Eli and his pine cone business.
Yeah, Mr. Eli Pinecone.
It's proof that you don't need a billion-dollar idea to be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Anyone can do it.
It's really about, like, a mindset more than a bank account.
Yeah.
It's about seeing possibilities where other people just see problems.
Yeah.
Taking that creative spark and actually turning it into something tangible, something that creates value for others.
And that value can come in so many forms, right?
So many forms.
It could be a life-changing technology, revolutionizing an entire industry.
Yeah.
Or even just something as simple as bringing people joy with a bag of pine cones.
Exactly. And that's why I think all these stories that we've looked at today are so valuable.
Yeah.
They remind us that entrepreneurship is accessible to anyone with passion, a willingness to learn, and the drive to make a difference.
So what does this all mean for our listener tuning in today?
Okay, that's a good question.
What can they take away from this deep dive into the world of entrepreneurship?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that entrepreneurship isn't just about starting a business.
It's more than that.
It's a way of thinking, a way of approaching the world.
Okay.
It's about being curious, being resourceful, and being willing to kind of step outside of your comfort zone.
It's about asking yourself, like, what unique skills do I have?
Yeah, what passions am I really drawn to?
What problems do I see around me that I could try to solve?
What opportunities are out there just waiting to be discovered?
Exactly. And you don't have to have all the answers right away.
Oh, absolutely not.
Entrepreneurship is a journey.
It is a continuous journey of learning, adapting, and growing.
And it's about embracing the unknown.
For sure.
Having the courage to try things, even if you might fail along the way.
Yeah. Failure is just a stepping stone.
Right. Each misstep is a chance to learn and improve.
Exactly. So if there's one thing I hope you take away from this deep dive, it's to embrace that entrepreneurial spirit, no matter how big or small.
Yes.
The world needs your ideas, your passion, and your willingness to, make things happen.
We've explored the highs and lows.
Yeah.
The triumphs and challenges of this entrepreneurial journey. But ultimately, it's a journey worth taking.
It really is.
So go out there, explore those opportunities.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the next inspiring case study we feature right here on the Deep Dive.
I love it.
Until next time, happy diving.
Well, I think after hearing about all these big names like Musk and Rinehart, what really struck me was that you don't need to be a billionaire to be an entrepreneur.
Exactly. We talked about, Eli and his pine cones.
Right, Mr. Eli Pinecone, exactly.
It's proof that entrepreneurship is really for anyone.
Yeah, it's more about a way of thinking than like a bank account.
Right, seeing the possibilities that others might miss.
Exactly. You see a problem and you think, hey, how can I solve that?
Yeah.
How can I make that into something valuable?
And that value, it can be anything, really.
Oh, absolutely.
From something as groundbreaking as like a new technology to just bringing some joy to people, like Eli with his pine cones.
Exactly. And that's what makes these stories so inspiring, I think.
Yeah, they really are.
They show that entrepreneurship is for anybody. If you have the passion, if you're willing to put in the work,
and you have that drive.
And you want to make a difference.
So what does this mean for our listeners out there?
Good question.
What can they actually take away from all this?
Well, if you're listening,
yeah,
I think the biggest takeaway is that entrepreneurship is more than just starting a business.
It's bigger than that.
It's like a lens, like a way of looking at the world.
Okay, I like that.
You have to be curious, resourceful. You got to be ready to get out of that comfort zone.
Right, and ask yourself, what do I bring to the table?
Yeah. What are my skills? What am I passionate about?
What problems do I see that maybe I could solve?
Exactly.
What opportunities are out there just waiting for someone to grab them?
Right. And you don't need all the answers right away.
Oh, for sure.
It's a journey, right? You learn as you go, you adapt.
Yeah, it's all about embracing the unknown.
And being okay with maybe failing sometimes.
Because failure is just a part of it.
It is. It's a stepping stone.
Yeah. Each time you stumble,
you get back up.
You learn from it, and you come back stronger.
Right. So if there's one thing I want you to remember from all of this,
it's
embrace that entrepreneurial spirit you have inside.
Right.
No matter what whether you're thinking big or small,
Yeah.
the world needs your ideas, your passion, and your willingness to jump in and make things happen.
We've talked about the highs and lows,
We have.
the amazing successes, and the tough challenges that come with being an entrepreneur.
It's a roller coaster.
But in the end,
Yeah.
it's a journey worth taking.
Yes.
So go out there, explore those opportunities.
Yeah, take that leap.
And maybe you'll be the next entrepreneur we feature right here on the Deep Dive.
I'd love to hear your story.
Until next time, happy diving, everyone.